Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Buy signal almost 2 weeks ago. It'll be Monday of next week. It'll be 2 weeks ago that for the first time we settled above this descending channel top. A descending channel or descending flag, it's sometimes called, at the top of a move is an indication of bull trend resumption once settled above. And we did almost 2 weeks ago. Certainly got sloppy here in the days that followed, but we had upward continuation here over the last week, pretty aggressively actually, ultimately anticipating still 219.64 over the next 2 to 3 months. On the way up, we do have, there is this channel. We did close above it on Thursday. We opened above it too. We did close above it, but we eased back and closed just above it. And in other words, all we need is an unchanged open on Friday, and we opened back below 188.96. So we're right at a pivot point here, and we could go either way. I'm talking today. If we can close higher on the day, if we can close once again above 188.96, then I maintain really 197.09 as a 3 to 5 day target. That is a 5/8 of the difference between 184.48 and 164.07. Then you add that back to 184.48. We also have 192.28 that can contain intraday buying pressures. We're in no man's land, so there are really very few line studies we can lean on, which is why we sort of now lean on these wave counts that I've used for many years. And so let's just kind of say that if we do close higher on the day and above 188.96, by the end of next week, we should see 197.09 on our way up to, once again, 219.64, which has been in play for almost 2 weeks now, that buy signal above 173.72. So 188.96, an important pivot point for the day. If we open above it, 192.28 is likely, beyond which, I don't see 197.09 today. But if we close above 192.28 within 2 or 3 days, if we're looking at the downside here right now, we've got 188.96, and if we open below 188.96, then 184.18 wouldn't surprise me today. We could bottom out there for the balance of the day, and if we close back below 188.96, and once again, we closed above it on Thursday, but certainly by an uncomfortably narrow margin, and we could quite easily close back below it. But as the way things stand, we're bullish anyway above 173.72 and above 188.96. Continued daily settlements above maintains a more aggressive upward dynamic as we continue into later October. I do want to throw out there, we don't have it on today's charts, but we've been showing it a lot. There is a 5.5-year channel top in the S&P 500 and the SPY itself, both markets testing a 5.5-year channel top that's been holding for 2 weeks now. We haven't backed away from it. We could close above it by a 1% margin today, and if we do, then I see broader market bullish continuation where NVIDIA really sort of joins the index, if you will, on an aligned rally over the next several months to 219.64 for NVIDIA. But the reason I bring up the S&P is because it is yet to elicit that long-term buy signal, and it just might play spoiler for NVIDIA. While we're in the midst of a buy signal, a longer-term buy signal, of course, above the 173.72 formation, there's nothing to say that we can't fall back to it. I'm not expecting it. I'm not trying to rattle your cage if you are long right now, but I am going to be more comfortable with holding a long-term long position in NVIDIA if the S&P 500 can also close above its critical resistance area. And you can see that actually, the exact levels I'm talking about, by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll see that and our stock picks this week, Tech Resources and Clean Spark. We've got 2 more coming out next week. You'll have privy to those. And so check us out at wickedstocks.com.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Let's get back to this image here. While it's only an intraday support level, a closing below it does signal 177.03 by the end of next week. Now, I don't expect that, but I will say that if we close below 188.96, this rising channel top, if we close back below it, I see no good reason to hold a long position if you're kind of the 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week dynamic. We've pulled away from this channel top quite a bit over the last week, week and a half, and we can fall all the way back into this zone if we close today below 188.96. Worst case, if you want to stay long, I'm talking really more like the 3 to 5 day to 1 to 2 week swing traders, not longer term position holders who've been long for the last couple of weeks above 173.72, and you are awaiting 219.64 as an objective. Just know that you need to give this market room to fall back, perhaps, into the low to upper 170s over the next week or two. I'm not expecting it, but if we close today below 188.96, odds begin to look that way. And certainly if we were to close today below 184.18, it is clarified as an outright sell signal into the 173.72 to 177.03 region. Now, I've got 177.03. I'm already focusing on that exclusively as our support because it is a newly formed rising channel bottom that is based in part on Thursday's high. Yes, that old channel top at 173.72 still has bearing, but it is this newly formed channel bottom, I think, that is more trend defining. This is your aggressive pullback support. 177.03 considered a 3 to 5 day target if we were to close today below 184.18. And if we close today below 188.96, you should allow this over the next week or two, 177.03. And that becomes more certified, if you will, with the settlement today below 184.18 as a 3 to 5 day swing trade to the downside. Until then, 3 to 5 day swing trade to the upside is, maybe you're long, you stay long above 188.96. This was the new long entry level, as you may recall, with a settlement above. And we did close above it on Thursday, so you may be long already. And the question is, where do you stop out? You might stop out, below 188.96. It's a little tight, I think. I think your stop loss, at least worst case scenario, and I'm talking once again to 3 to 5 day swing traders, would be below 184.18. But until then, opening clearly above 188.96 maintains bullish momentum for the day and into next week. 197.09 in reach over the next 3 to 5 days. Let me get back to this chart, and that is to say that if we were to test this 177.03 over the next 3 to 5 days, signaled with a settlement today below 184.18, it can contain selling on a weekly basis, and we could even round up to new highs from here. It would be a settlement below 177.03 that would then signal 167.59 within another week, two at the very most. This is a base of longer-term support that may contain selling into November activity, and from here we can round up to new highs. There is no sort of swinging for the fences to the downside. It is very stair-step. If we were to test 148.83, we would need, a series of sell signals all the way down to really clarify that. But we are once again in the midst of a long-term buy signal above 173.72, secondarily so above 188.96, anticipating over the next 2 to 3 months 219.64. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back Sunday with Monday's NVIDIA report, and you have a great weekend.